Hey, cat. Over here. Psst, 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 psst. Psst, 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 psst.
Keep on scratching.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Alone Together Pittsburgh, streaming at you live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We are here in, I believe, episode 147 of week 40. Wait, 144. What are we doing here? I think it's episode. I don't know. Dave, what is it? 144 or 147?
I was letting you sweat it a little bit. 144. 144.
Okay. Episode 144, week 47, right? You should think, after 147 episodes, you'd think I'd write it down. It's overrated. So anyway, as you can tell, we are totally professional and streaming at you live. We started this when the shelter-in-place order came down last March from the governor. And we've been doing the show ever since. We wanted to keep a sense of community going around the area, keep people on there. We've had a lot of different voices, over 400 guests. And tonight we've got a couple other great ones. It's great. We've got some familiar faces and some new ones as well. It's going to be a great show lined up for you. Before we get into it, just want to go over some stuff. We would not be doing the show if there was not a pandemic going on. So every night we kind of talk about, the COVID numbers in Allegheny County. Today was 334. So we're kind of hold and serve around the 300, 400 range, which isn't as terrible as it was last month, but it is not good. So let's just lock it down the best way we can. I know everyone's waiting for vaccines, but what you have at your disposal is masks. So please, if you have a mask, wear it. If you don't have a mask, what have you been doing for 10 months without a mask? Go get a mask and then, live your life at a socially distanced, respectable pace. Keep washing your hands And don't be a jag. Put on a mask. Bruce Springsteen would agree with me.
Yeah.
I have
That was more like Eddie Vedder.
I thought it was Eddie Vedder. Eddie Vedder, who's actually a friend of one of our sponsors for our little in-show poll that we've got going on here. And it will be Engine House 25 Winery. If you go to eh25.com, you'll figure that out. But before I talk about Engine House 25 Winery, I want to let you guys know we've got a great show for you tonight. Andre Costello is going to be here talking about his new project. Natalie Bencivenga has a killer 5 minutes with, and Dave Bracey is going to be with us talking about local brews and whatever else is on his mind. So stick around. It's a great show. It's awesome. Andre is going to do a song, and it will not be our title song from Alone Together Pittsburgh, which he actually wrote for us. So stick around for that. But Engine House 25 Winery sponsors our thing we call the Jagoff Poll. And we had our big, massive Jagoff poll. It ended about 3 weeks ago, and it took 9 months to get there. But the cookie table reigns supreme of the all Pittsburgh poll. So the most Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh thing, cookie table. But we decided to keep an in-show poll going for things that are going on in the day, mostly local-centric and stuff. Dave, tell them what the poll is tonight. It's a good one.
Oh, no honesty when I'm crying on the street, ain't no boom, da boom, da boom. Only is gone in the morning, and no more. Boom, da boom, da boom.
You started early. I thought you were gonna halfway through it. Okay, let's do it.
Da boom, da boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, put on your best pants, pull out your buffalo soup, get out all your Snickers snacks, put them on the table, cause nobody's coming for dinner. That's right, folks, it's the big game weekend. Patrick, I hope you got your beverages of choice. Get yourself some hot toddies on display, ready to get some eggnog out for the big game. Grandpa's not coming over. Your uncle's not coming over. There's not going to be any awkward political conversations in this Super Bowl. Oh, big game? No. Only one thing to talk about. The Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going against the Tom Brady's in the big game this Sunday.
Dave, I hate to tell you this, but the Steelers didn't.
Tom Brady is the evil man of football. Go against the Pittsburgh Steelers on the big game. And that's right, your little Jags, dedicated to the favorite song of the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's right, we all know it as Renegade by the band Styx. Styx, the band Styx. Nobody liked Styx. Then all of a sudden in 2003, everybody liked Styx in Pittsburgh. Why? Because it gets the Steelers all psyched to play. But nobody knows, are the Steelers, are they the renegade? Or are the Steelers, are they the lawman? Are they the hangman coming down? Gotta ask Uncle, so it's up for you to decide. Who are the Steelers? Are they the lawman laying down the law against Tom Brady and his team? Or is it the other way around? Are they the renegades? Nobody knows. When will this end? This jag-off! Damn you, Patrick! Damn you!
He's back, ladies and gentlemen. He's back. So to let you guys know, you have a chance at an in-show poll that's going on right now. You can vote right now. It's basically deconstructing Renegade, the Steelers anthem. It works here. They've tried it in other cities. It doesn't work. There's something about it. Why? I have theories I might get into later. But here are your options right now. In the song Renegade, oh, Mom, I'm in fear for my life. The long arm of the law. Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long. So your options are these. A. Are you pulling it up? Okay. Are the Steelers the renegade? Are they the lawman? Or are they neither? Mr. Roboto would be a better fit. So get that going there, okay? I happened to be there the day that song was born as a thing in Pittsburgh, and it had a really good run in the aughts, I got to tell you. But it's been real shitty ever since. Since about 2010 or 11, they go to the well too many times. It fires up the crowd, right? but I don't know why they were playing it this season when there was no crowd. But anyway, you get your votes in there right now. What do you think? Are the Steelers the Renegade, the Lawman, or neither? Mr. Roboto would be a better song, another Styx song. So get in there, get your votes in there right now. I was at that game. It was a playoff game against the Cleveland Browns when that was born. They were losing by 17 points. They played that song. The crowd went absolutely bonkers nuts. And the Steelers defense came out of nowhere, and touchdown Tommy Maddox led them back to overcome a 17-point deficit. I think Cleveland scored one other time after that scored, and the Steelers scored 4 touchdowns to win the game closely. So it was that. I think they've gone to the well too many times. I've been known to yell at the games like, "Don't play Renegade," because the defense always lets them score the last 5 years. I think it was just for that specific Troy Polamalu, Joey Porter / James Ferrier led teams, James Harrison. But anyway, get your votes in. Also, get your wine at Engine House 25. Go to eh25.com. Let them know that you found out about it from Alone Together Pittsburgh. You get $5 off per bottle. They also, if you're thinking Valentine's Day, gifts, treats, something, everybody's got flowers. They're doing like special Valentine's Day bottles of wine with little chocolates and treats. I think they have like the tasting room is going to be open for like one person at a time this Saturday, so like they'll line it up. But yeah, you can see this stuff there. Dave, if you got the photo, cool from the notes, but you don't need to put it up there. They've got a great selection of wines there, reds, whites, anything you need, and special Valentine's Day treat. Go to Engine House 25. Let them know they're doing free delivery and free shipping during free shipping is free delivery, I guess, in the 412 area code during the pandemic, and they also do curbside. Check this thing out. You can get little Valentine's Day treats like that. So hit it up, eh25.com. Now, that said, before I start this thing, Dave, what do you think the Steelers are in that song? Before we bring out, before we do 5 minutes with.
Arigato, Mr. Roboto. It doesn't make sense either way. It does not make sense. Are they the wanted man, the impending doom? Or are they the people that are slapping down the lawlessness and bringing it all back? I don't know. It doesn't make a lick of sense.
Well, there's those drum hits, right? And they edit a video of all the big hits from that season of people getting like tackled, smacked, interceptions, stuff like that. That kind of fires people up, fires the crowd up, you know?
Yeah, but like, there's things that make sense. Like, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. DMX, right?
Mm-hmm.
The DMX is the team, and the people that's making him lose his mind is the crowd. That makes sense. This doesn't make any sense.
Okay. All right,
but does Pittsburgh ever make any sense?
Well, I don't know. We're going to find out tonight, and we'll talk about it at the tail end of the show. So get your votes in. Let's see what it is. Pete, you don't even want to chime in on this one?
I prefer the Pittsburgh Steelers polka.
Okay. You can't usually play that before a big defensive stand, but I feel you. It's you would prefer that, and to be honest with you right now, so do I.
Well, why not? Why can't you play that? That would get people going. They'd be dancing around.
It's a polka town.
Yeah, they'd be dancing around. They'd be saying, Franco.
Right, there you go.
Yeah. That's good.
Free safeties are doing the little, arm ring thing.
Okay, I'd be into that. All right, now the way you're talking about, I'd be into that. Anything but Renegade. We need to purge it for a year, or wait till it's a playoff game that they might actually have a chance of not losing by an ungodly amount. It was like, it's funny that you bring this up, because this year was the first time that Cleveland Browns had been in the playoffs since that game when Renegade was born, and now they I think they may have exercised the demon.
So the Browns are playing Tom Brady tomorrow? Is that what's happening?
No,
the Steelers play tomorrow.
The Steelers don't play tomorrow.
Sunday, sorry.
They don't play Sunday either. They're not going to be there. It's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs versus Tom Brady.
Oh.
So it's going to be a team versus just one man, because there's really no one else on that team.
All right.
Tom Brady doesn't play for the Chiefs. Joe Montana does. Oh. So that's what it is.
Still going? He's probably 60 now.
Hey, I mean, Brady's trying to catch him. He passed him in Super Bowls, but not in respect in my mind. But anyway, I think we should get to the guests on the show tonight. I think it's time. Friday night is usually a night that we have one of our favorite segments. We have 5 minutes with Natalie Bencivenga. Let's see who she has on this week.
Hey everyone, I'm Natalie Bencivenga, and welcome to another segment of 5 Minutes with. This week, I have the honor and the pleasure of having Ta'lor Pinkston. She is the heart advocate. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Natalie, for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. So for people that may not know, what does it mean to be a heart advocate, the heart advocate?
The heart advocate. Well, I am a self-love therapist, speaker, activist. The heart advocate is all about sharing your truth, building coping skills, using self-love as a coping skill for mental health and healing, and just normalizing how important it is to love ourselves and to use compassion over perfection. And I am very much active in that conversation. And I think that self-love is a coping skill and we need to use it more.
How did you find yourself in this space? When you were growing up, were you always advocating for yourself, or was this something that came later to you in life?
My mom was an advocate for other people. She was a helper and a healer. I grew up with the childcare in my home. So my mom was always a people person. And she actually is a counselor here and now in her life. I'm a therapist. So we do our thing as mother and daughter. But I would say the advocate was always there in me. What was not always there is believing in my power, like knowing my essence and my value. Even though I had a mom who, took care of herself and, I saw her advocate for herself as a woman and as a Black woman, I still had moments where I doubted my abilities and doubted myself, and college really showed me those gaps. That's when I was fully aware that, oh, you are people pleasing and you are settling, and like relationships became so much more important than the relationship that I had with myself. And that's kind of what triggered it. I was graduating with my master's in social work, found that I was pregnant with my daughter, was in a toxic relationship with her father at the time. We both were just not taking care of ourselves and doing what we needed to do. And then, finding out that we were pregnant added more stress on top of that. And through trying to make it work, while not healing ourselves individually, and getting that master's in social work, I felt like I should have it all together and shouldn't need therapy in my own life. And that became clear that I needed to be transparent and raw and honest with myself about where I was as a human and stop putting myself on that perfection pedestal. So I called the therapist, I started therapy, had my daughter, and did a Google search for self-love, found the Path of Self-Love School, and it changed my life. I stand by Christina Rilo in the Path of Self-Love School. The work that they do and how they teach self-love is why I do what I do today. So it's been a beautiful journey of really discovering self, but really understanding what self-love is in the first place, and getting an awareness of what is this buzzy word that everybody's talking about.
Well, and that was part of the reason I wanted to have you on. Speaking of this term, when you think of self-love, what is it? Because I think it's different for everyone, but I do think that it's been a little bit commodified and commercialized and whitewashed. And so when you think of self-love as a healer, as a Black woman, what does that mean to you?
Well, firstly, it's transparency and honesty. It's being honest with yourself, asking yourself the tough questions, knowing who you are not, accepting those things about yourself, accepting your past, present, your body, your beauty, your mental health, like accepting self, and then throwing some care and some compassion and some trust and some empowerment and some respect and honor on top of it. Christine described self-love as a tree, and that there are 10 branches on that tree. And a lot of times you see people focusing solely on self-care. So that branch of self-love, self-care is the real popular one, but it's also very commercial. Like you say, Natalie, like it's very pampering, work out, drink water, eat food. And that's pretty much what people associate self-care with. But there's emotional care and social care and practical care and spiritual care. Like there's so many other types of self-care, just like there's, different ways that we love on ourselves through these branches of self-love. So it's deep and it requires research, not just in understanding what self-love is, but understanding yourself. This is a lifelong practice because you're going to change forever.
And I think that makes total sense, this idea that it is a practice, it's a journey. Like we're not really ending up and saying, okay, now it's completed. And you said something interesting just a moment ago about, deciding to get into therapy yourself and being a therapist. Who is taking care of the healers? Because you guys are taking care of all of us right now. And it's a big job with everything going on in the world, both here in Pittsburgh and globally. So who's taking care of our healers? And how do you do that?
You know what? One of the things that is really important to me as a therapist is to practice what I preach. So the coping skills and the interventions that I'm sharing with the people that I work with, I'm using in my own life, which is why I'm so, public in a sense on social media, because I don't want to, buy in or continue this idea that therapists should have it all together before they become therapists, or that you need to be perfect in some sense and not have mental health concerns. If you're a therapist, I believe therapists need therapy, counselors need counseling, social workers need social work. Like we are all in this together. And like I said, during my pregnancy, I had to normalize that for myself, that it is okay that I needed therapy, even though I'm a therapist. So it was so important to me to help others do that and normalize therapy just for themselves. And if I'm not practicing the things that I'm sharing with others, then as a human being, I'm neglecting myself. So I've definitely had moments since my degree where I've found a therapist and sat with someone. I actually had my own self-love coach as well, because this work never stops. It's never ending. So when it comes to who's helping the healers heal, a lot of times it's my supports, the people that I know are loving and respectful relationships, the people that I know that I can call and it's a judgment-free, safe space. I think safe spaces are so important for us as individuals who are helping people cope and heal. You're still a human being. You still need to have those spaces that you can go and vent and share, and someone will challenge you and support you and encourage you as well. So I'm blessed to have, those core folks in my life, but I'm also very aware that if I need to get back into therapy for myself, I will, and that is okay.
And that is okay. I like that. And, speaking to your work, how is it practicing this work as a Black woman who lives in Pittsburgh, who grew up in the United States? How does your identity, your personal identity, frame and contextualize this work, especially with everything that's going on around us? Can you share a little bit about how you approach therapy with people in your space?
It's kind of something that I can't turn off. And even when I was studying to be a social worker and therapist, there was always this idea of, dual relationships and not disclosing who you are as a therapist. It's not about you. Absolutely, it is not. But I know as people, as a person of color, that storytelling is how we heal. You know, that's why, you know, going to church, going to family, when we're struggling is more common than finding a therapist, because we connect through that storytelling. So every time I would hear that from my professors or just anybody with their license or just, you know, even supervisors, it kind of went in one ear and out the other, because how do I not tell someone that I am working with and connecting with that I too struggle with depression prenatally? Like, how do I just look at this mom and never say that I had been in that experience as well? So I'm more holistic in that sense, which is why I call myself a self-love therapist, because it is very specific in the type of therapy that you're going to get when you meet with me. It's all rooted in self-worth and building it. And I know that as people of color, when we don't feel that connection is authentic, that you have shared experiences, that you know what I'm talking about, there's a lot of shutdown that happens. There's a lot of distrust that builds because I don't know you. I don't feel comfortable around you. And you're putting on an idea like you have it all together. And I know you're a human being just like me. So again, active on social media for that reason, transparent about my own struggles with depression and anxiety for that reason, because we are in this together. And I think that we really need to look at how we provide therapy and support and bring it more to a holistic community human connection. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And as we wrap up this 5 minutes with, you know, we were touching a little bit on it, but you and I had a conversation prior to this where you talked a little bit about how self-love really is a privilege. And I know we don't have a lot of time left, but I would really love for you to share with people what you had shared with me around that talking point, because it was really interesting.
So under the system that we live in,
and as we wrap up this 5 minutes with, you know, we were touching a little bit on it, but you and I had a conversation prior to this where you talked a little bit about how self-love really is a privilege. And I know we don't have a lot of time left, but I would really love for you to share with people what you had shared with me around that talking point, because it was really interesting.
So under the system that we live in, there's a lot of hate. And as a person of color, we know that there has even been hate in professional spaces. I go to a therapist and I feel like a number. I go to a therapist and I'm not treated like, you know, those who are non-BIPOC. And those are the conversations that you'll hear, you know, in my community. And it's a part of that trickle down. So if there is hate, eventually that trickle down will lead to self-hate. And it's a shame, but the reality is the color that we see is on a spectrum of this privilege, you know, of loving yourself and knowing yourself. If you have that opportunity to know what self-love is, you know, to be able to see that growing up, to practice it, there is privilege in that space, because a lot of us were stripped of the opportunity to believe in ourselves and to believe that we are able to do and be anything that we want to be, that we can trust ourselves and express ourselves and be empowered. You know, when you're living and you're constantly hitting a barrier because of how you look, because of your race or ethnicity, how can you believe in yourself? How can you have the esteem? How can you have the compassion for yourself and, you know, fully and freely allow the world to see you if the world keeps telling you you're not good enough? So self-love is a privilege. And it's why I'm very intentional on creating spaces that are free. You know, the Healing Over Everything is a group that I have on Facebook. It is free. We talk about this stuff in that space all the time, because not everybody can afford to meet with me for a one-on-one self-love therapy session. So there's tons of privilege. So if you're hearing this, you're privileged, even here now. Because it's not taught in schools, it's not taught in homes, it's not being taught in churches. Self-love is not everywhere. So if you got it, you know, you're privileged.
Ta'lor, I so appreciate you taking time to educate and enlighten me and my audience. This was so amazing. I appreciate you being here in Pittsburgh doing this incredible work. And thank you so much for spending a little bit more than 5 minutes with me.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
Another week. Fantastic, Natalie. I've never met Ta'lor before, so that was fascinating. I mean, amazing. Listen to her talk and do it all night.
Thank you. Yeah, I know, and I wanted to kick off, you know, sort of our first week with Black History Month, and really talk to a woman that's not just part of that community, but also part of the healing community too, and focus on what that looks like for so many people that I think are just having a really hard time right now. And when you compound that with racial injustices, it's just magnified. So she was just really, really powerful. And I actually met her through Elise Michaud, who does the Sounds About White podcast, who I'd had on. And she was like, you should meet Ta'lor. And I was like, I should meet Ta'lor if you're telling me to.
Oh, no, it's fantastic.
So thanks for giving space for that.
Oh my God, anytime. I mean, and have her again. I mean, that was amazing. Also, you know, when she was talking earlier about just therapists in therapy, everyone needs to, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even think about that. But you just think that, you know, like therapists, doctors, whatever, are like impervious to, you know, whatever that they need to talk to. So that's great. I've never, never thought about it like that. Yeah.
I was starting to think a lot about our frontline workers and the people that, you know, we're putting a lot on right now, like a lot. And it just, you know, I was just thinking, who's healing the healers? Who's taking care of them? And I think it's important that we all are trying to give a little more space and grace to the people that are doing the healing work on whatever level that is, or the essential work as well, because there's a lot of stress right now on them.
Oh, and it's just going on. We talked about this a little bit before the show starts. I mean, love is coming in the chat bar right now. Lovely message shared and good interview and all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, we were talking about that before, that right now, I mean, the frontline workers especially, I mean, they're literally on the front lines of this thing. Yeah. But I mean, we're coming up on a year.
I know. It's starting to feel it. I'm starting to really feel it. I don't know about you, but yeah, it's been a little different lately for me. I just feel like I'm looking back now and it's like, oh my gosh, we were kind of like, it'll be a year like that. We've been doing this now.
I feel like we were distracted with certain things. I mean, be it tons of work, because for like half pay or no pay, if you're lucky enough to get paid. Yep. But yeah, like just working, struggling, hustling, planning, having your plans get squashed, and then everybody keeps running. I feel like everybody needs a break, man. I mean, it's just like that, but I feel like it's coming. And I think that, you know, the run up to the election had people focused on something else. And then the insurrection that happened on the 6th had people thinking about, like, so there's all this kind of stuff. And like right now, like this week, it's just kind of just been like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, what do I do here? Yeah. So anyway, it's a rough time. So
no, I feel the same. I feel like we're in this like collective trauma. And it's just constant. And then when you are out of shock for a moment and you can reflect on it, you're like, what actually is going on here right now? And it's intense. So this show is very therapeutic to get to do this.
Well, I'm glad.
So thank you. Right, and it's always fun to be with you guys every week. It makes me feel alive.
All right. Okay. Well, we'd love to have you here. You give us life in turn. So thank you so much. And Natalie will be back again next Friday, coming up with another exciting element of 5 Minutes With. She also is a nationally syndicated advice columnist, so you can hit her up with questions if you got them at AskNatalieAdvice @gmail.com. Thanks so much, Natalie.
Thank you.
We will we'll see you next week.
I look forward to seeing you guys.
Right. All right. Another great 5 minutes with Natalie. And we've got some more stuff. We've got some great guests coming up here right now. I kind of want to just jump right into it. I want to get to it. He's here. We already told you he was coming. Andre Costello is going to be here. He wrote our theme song, but this past Friday, Andre debuted his lockdown project, Tomorrow Club, which is 6 songs, diverse in scope and approach, and the style and being just overall dynamic. It all started and finished from home, starting in lockdown in March, up through like right now. And he's actually going to do a song for it from us after we talk to him for a little bit. So please welcome back to the show, Andre Costello.
Hey, how's it going?
Andre, welcome back, man. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me tonight.
Oh, thanks for being here, man, on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Got a sweet setup behind you there. We got instruments. I see a keyboard, microphones.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with all that stuff?
I don't know.
So tell me about the Tomorrow Club, man. You recorded a new album from your house.
Yeah. So, right around the time that the lockdown was starting to happen, I was starting to write a song called "Right Now, Distance is the Best Thing," and it was about the idea of social distancing. It was inspired by that, and then the lockdown happened, and that song kind of finished, and I was like, I think I don't have any excuse not to just record as much as I can while I'm here at home. And so through the summer and into the fall, I worked on these songs, and I had like about 10, and I narrowed it down to 6 that really I was happy to just wrap up. And there's me in Orlando, Florida.
Nice.
Lake Eola.
How long ago was that?
That was two Februaries ago, I think.
2 Februaries ago. All right. So in recording this, is this all you solo stuff? Did you have other people sending you music? Were you stacking anything, or is this just all you? Rich Conan says, "Oh, hey, Andre."
Oh, hey, Rich. Yeah, man. I love Rich's Civil War information.
Yeah, and he was on the show last week, and just like we want to give him like a regular segment to just drop bombs on us, no pun intended.
Dude, my mind is my mind is blown like every time one of his posts roll across my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just got another check for Nina Barbuto. Finished the 12 No Bullshit Self Love with Ta'lor. Says she's the best from Natalie's section. All right. So tell me a little bit more. So you got 6 different songs. I mean, what kind of vibes are these songs? I mean,
the first one reminds me of Clapton a little bit, and that's just because it has like this smooth guitar line that carries the melody, and it kind of reminds me of something he would have done in the 80s or late 80s or 90s. Now it's called Hold Me in Your Mind, and that was kind of, the more I'm looking back at these songs, I'm like, they're all actually a good like photo album of this past year for me. And so that song, the first song, this Clapton sounding one, is like, it sounds like, or it's kind of about whenever, if you can't be with the person that you love, you have to just hold them in your mind, and that's like, either think about them and just like keep.
I was thinking of a different song. It wasn't a Clapton song. If you can't be the one with your love the one you're with. That was a whole other genre. But
no, that's. I think I almost said that.
Okay, all right.
But that's a whole different meaning.
It does, yeah. It just, but you know what? It's friggin' COVID. You can do whatever you want right now. It's
true.
It's the Wild West. We also got a message in from YouTube that's curious about your facial hair. What made you grow a beard? What's going on? You got a beard? Are you going to cut it down to a mustache? Dave has facial hair. Dave has a monkey tail. You going to shave a monkey tail?
I'm going to grow a monkey tail probably on my face, hopefully.
Okay, good. All right, good. I was curious about that, and that'll make Pete happy because he was curious himself. All right, so okay, Here we go. So anyway, so you got 6 songs. You got a Clapton vibe. What else can we expect here? I know it's diverse group.
Sort of a petty kind of feel, where it's just like sort of a rock and roll song. It's but it's like it's sort of like I feel like it's not soft rock, but it's easy listening. Is what I call it.
Would it be yacht rock?
I don't really know what yacht rock is, honestly.
Okay.
I haven't spent enough time with the genre or on yachts to really effectively speak for that genre.
Okay.
But,
Well, there's you have time now. You have time on your hands. You can work on that.
Well, hang on.
All right.
I just think that I was driven away from every yacht rock album cover that I came across in my collection.
Driven away from it, like it repelled you?
Yeah, just there's like a.
Oh, you're missing out.
I know. But those are probably the most ridiculous album covers
Of all time. And that's what makes them. I mean, 20 years from now, people might be talking about like iced out Rolexes and stuff like that, like excess. It's just whatever excess is at the time. At that point, it was like an unbuttoned polo shirt and a sailboat. White pants, yeah, like basically Miami Vice. Have you ever actually watched an episode of Miami Vice?
I haven't.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, like I hadn't really either, and then I watched when it was on like a rerun, and it's literally it's a half-hour episode, and half of it's a music video.
Oh yeah.
It's literally like Smuggler's Blues, just like playing. Anyway,
more of that.
Yeah,
Wes Anderson could do that.
I think you're right.
But only with the fucking Kinks.
I think you're right. Well, speaking of all of that, you're gonna play a song for us tonight.
Yeah, I am.
So which song are we gonna? Oh my God, Miami Mice, Dave. You're very quick on the uptake there. That's how it is.
That was nice.
It's pretty great. So Andre, what song are you gonna grace us with tonight?
There's a song called "Folding Chair," and it's like an acoustic fingerpick one. So I think it'll translate the best, and it's also shorter, so that's good. And it's about it has the imagery of putting a folding chair in your parking spot. And this past spring, I was supposed to do like it would have been my first time actually just opening for a band like multiple nights, and me not having to do anything as far as booking it or really promoting it, but to go there and play. And I was really excited about that. It had been the first time I did like such an official tour. I present like I've toured forever. People go, "Hey, where you've been touring?" And I'm like, "No, I don't tour. Just play howlers. What are you talking about?"
Well, you're obviously talking to people from Pittsburgh. You're like, "Hey, man, you've been touring.
Yeah.
Where you been going, Andre?"
Tour up to Millville.
Yeah, I did Millville.
Etna, right? Yeah, I did. The furthest I went in 2017, and
well, at least you made it there. I mean, that's more than most. So fire it up, Andre Costello.
What's his name? Dr. Dre. I think he said that if you can make it in Etna, you can make it anywhere.
Speaking of iced out rollies.
Oh yeah, so I was supposed to do that. This song's kind of about in lieu of being able to do that, it's kind of about that sort of travel. Filling my suitcase, leaving my home base, leaving the rest to fade. Home for the weekend, hide and go seek, then explore a different place. And I sit up my bag on a folding chair, shave up my face and I'll comb my hair, quicken my pace and I'll tie up my shoelace, and I'm back in a couple of days. Sick in the motion, hold the commotion. I cannot hear myself think. Fall in the weeds and sew up them seams. I'm home in a different place. And I reserve my space with a folding chair. Shave up my face and I'll pay the fare. Quicken my pace and I'll tie up my shoelace, and I'm back in a couple of days. And I set up my bag on a folding chair. Park at my place and I'll pay the fare. Quicken my pace and I'll tie up my shoelace, and I'm back in a couple of days. Alright, there you go. There you have it.
Yeah, Andre. That was beautiful, man.
Thank you.
I miss live music, and I miss hearing you play live music, man. This is.
I miss it too. It's a kind of, it's still a rush, even though it's in front of my phone.
I know, but man, it picked up nicely, and it's to the masses now.
Thanks, man.
Oh, sure. Well, thank you for coming on. But before we wrap up here, it was lovely. Clap, clap from Sarah Siplak. But question for you: in the song "Renegade," do you believe that the Steelers, when they play it, are they the Renegade, the Lawman, or would Mr. Roboto just be a better song?
Well, first off, Mr. Roboto would not really make any sense either, I don't think, unless it's about our quarterback, Ben, and the bike accident he was in 10 years ago. So it's not really, it's about as relevant as Renegade at that point.
Right.
And
17 years ago.
Also, I didn't really realize that was their official thing. I just thought that people like to listen to it, that like the Steelers.
It's not like it's like their official thing. It's just, it's become that like Styx has come and played pre-games. It's like been like this second coming, and it just hasn't ended.
I kind of, I had an experience whenever I was a young man in high school, and hanging out with my buddies, and smoking cigs and just being irresponsible. Mm-hmm. And my one friend very awkwardly sang it a cappella, and we all politely were just like,
yeah,
just letting him do it.
Wow. Well, that's a good friend right there. So if you've got a choice.
So it's been weird. That reminds me.
We'll forget. Well, Lawman or Renegade.
I think. I mean, he's the Renegade's the cool one, right?
I'm going with the Renegade. I'm gonna. If I had a vote, I would go Renegade too. I think I know why.
It's Bad Company. Like, it's like the bad guy. It's like,
all right. It's 56% for the Renegade and 22-22. Okay. So you've got 10 minutes to get your votes in, world. So keep on voting. There's more people watching the show than have voted, so get on that.
Hey, before you kick me off of here.
Oh, sure thing, buddy.
The last song on the album is your theme song, but it's
really?
But it's way better. Yeah, it's like a full song.
Well, I'm glad you made it way better for your album and gave us the fun.
No, you should. I'm trying to say you should like use that one.
Okay. You got to hear it. So Tomorrow Club, best way to get this is it's on Spotify. Checking out the business here. That's awesome, Andre.
If you scroll down a little bit, real quick, I didn't finish telling you about the album, but I don't want to do it the whole time. But let me tell about those next two.
Go ahead.
Is that upside down? No, okay. The one Murciélagos is about bats. It's real short. It's like almost like a blues prog sort of thing. It reminds me of the band Grand Piano a lot.
Okay.
And The one that's before that was Right Now This Is the Best Thing. It's real slow and airy. And then the last one sounds like a Devendra Banhart song. It's your theme song. It's about the last president not being president anymore, kind of just being done with that whole thing. And I wrote it during the summer, whenever it was especially. I mean, it's always
shitty.
Been shitty, but
especially shitty. All right.
Anyways, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, dude, thank you so much. Everybody, check out Andre's new album. It's fantastic, and just the fact that you did it all during the pandemic, start to finish. Soup to nuts. It's fantastic.
The art's awesome. Yeah, man.
Awesome, dude. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you again for letting us use the song, even though it's like a shittier version of a shitty time of a great song about a shitty president.
Yeah, so, it's a thing that comes out of something bad. So
great. I like that. All right. Well, nice work. Rich gives you a nice work, buddy, and everybody's chiming in there on this. All right. Thank you so much, Andre. We'll talk to you soon. Come on back anytime.
Loving the show, brother.
Thanks, buddy. All right. Fantastic. Seriously, go check that album out. Before we bring out our next guest, I want to remind everybody, if you're curious about, what's going on, how to eat, sustainably, how to live from farm to table, go to farmtotablepa.com. You can find everything. It is your one-stop shop. You can find a food guide there. You can find out where farmers markets are, who's doing what, who's got CSAs. And every Wednesday, tune in to Alone Together, because we have a special segment just for Farm to Table. Either Aaron Hart from Farm to Table will be on, or different farms, and giving you different deals and what you can do and how you can do it. It's been eye-opening for me, just talking to people, finding out what everything's capable of. So go to farmtotablepa.com, find out more about that. All right. So that said, I am still in the renegade camp for the voting on what you think about the renegade thing. All right. Pete wants to do the Pittsburgh polka, and I understand that, but it is time right now to go to everyone's favorite Friday night segment, Local Brews with Dave Bracey. Oh, he's back with the angle. He's back with the framing, with the focus. Wow.
Good job, man.
How are you, Dave? Thanks for being here tonight, man.
Hey, I'm alive. My computer was all fucked up. It was good for a week, and then it shit the bed already. So I'm back to the phone. But what comes with the phone is fancy framing. So there we go.
Well, you know what? You got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, this is it's been a productive week, and this is definitely is a nice cap to that. So I'm drinking Apis. And I've raved about them in the past. I'll continue to rave about them. They just opened up for the weekend, so if you want to, for a while there, they were only open from 12 to 4 for carry out. Mm-hmm. And that's hard, man. 4 hours a week to try to figure out when you're gonna get down there. That was a little hard. So this weekend they opened up. They're open up tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. 3 whole days to go down there and get your mead fresh, cold out of the cooler. And it's just, I'm excited. I'm excited for Dave and the folks.
12 to 4 is rough hours.
Yeah, man. On a Saturday, especially when time has no meaning. I can't tell you how many times I drove up, just pulled up to go, run in and grab a bottle and head back out, and because I forgot that they weren't open, or I forgot that it wasn't Saturday. It's been wild. So super excited to have them back. And this is a dorsata, mm-hmm. which is a traditional mead. For folks, maybe don't know, mead is honey wine. So it's like wine, but with bee puke used as a basis, as opposed to foot smashed grapes. And, it's nice because you can impart just about any flavor you want on top of it, because it doesn't have, a very strong base flavor, like a grape, would have. Or, in beer, you got hops and barley and malt and all these very flavorful things. Here, you got a little bit of honey and some yeast and some thyme, So.
Well, we've all got a lot of time.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
with this, So with this, it's barrel aged. It's part of the barrel aged collection.
Okay.
And it comes in. I mean, I don't know exactly where this is coming in. It's somewhere between 14 and 16%, which makes it a pretty strong wine. And this is aged in Pinot Noir barrels. So you're gonna get a very you're gonna get, as I was talking shit on the wine, you're gonna get a more of a grape, Pinot Noir flavor to it. And
Sounds good.
It's nice. Yeah, I'm a fan. This is one of my favorites. They got a lot of different flavor profiles. This one being hopped passion fruit. It's a staple. Yeah, I mean, it's what the label says. It's hopped, and it's passion fruit.
Sometimes that's all you need, man.
That's
truth in advertising.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, man.
Speaking of that, Dave's got the medieval times vibe to drink that too. I'm guessing this should be drank out of a horn. Like, I feel like it should be horned in some way. But yeah, super excited to have them back open. And I just found out that they actually ship to 40 states apparently, because shipping laws for one are more lax than they are for just about anything else. So are they shipping in Pennsylvania?
They are shipping in Pennsylvania and 40 other states. So, I mean, I don't know. I would imagine that if you're watching this, it's probably a state that they ship to. I don't know how much. I don't know what your North Dakota fan base may be, but
it's big. We're big in the Dakotas. We'll do a whole section on Buffalo in a minute. Here, it's gonna be good. Not the town, like the actual animal. Yeah, in the Dakotas, it's where it's at.
Yeah, so I don't know about North Dakota. South Dakota, you might be covered. You know what I mean? South Dakota, you might be covered. Then you gotta ask. What is it about North Dakota that South Dakota?
Well, so you talk politics with them, be like, hey, there's 450 of you in this state. You get 2 senators. That's amazing. There's a North and a South Dakota, which is awesome. So anyway, I don't want to get into geography here, but yeah, so they ship everywhere but the Dakotas apparently.
Apparently, all the ones that you forget on the tests. So I mean, for me, that's about 40 of them. So hopefully you're a little bit better at geography than I am.
I'm a pass, hard pass. So and which one are you drinking right now?
So I'm actually drinking the barrel age collection.
Barrel age collection,
in Pinot Noir barrels. It's so when I said 14%, I'm going to go ahead and say it's closer to the 16, 17%. I mean, that's a winter warmer right there. I mean, I could go for it right now. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not in arm's reach of anything. I was going to take tonight off, but I'm going to go back on that. Yeah, it's like it has this I mean, it's a nice kind of like Pinot, like grapey with a sweet honey to it. That's it finishes very nice, but like the sweet is in the middle and then the dry at the end, which is what I really like about these meads, is the fact that they finish dry. I don't like sweet wine. I feel like it lingers a bit much. But this is, I think that the sugar is out of there. So.
Yeah, sweet wine for me, I mean, it would be like the equivalent of like what are those drinks? Those claws. What are they called? The tiger claw. What are those drinks? Whatever the claws.
The White Claws.
The White Claws. Thank you.
Yeah.
The White Claws. Like, if you're gonna drink that, it's got to be like literally a brick of ice. It's got to be like as cold as humanly possible on a super hot day. And even then, I don't think I could get through a whole one. You know what I mean? It would have to be like just so cold. But anyway,
the palate. Yeah, I can't. It tastes like a headache. And I try, but from my understanding, those claws got like less calories or something. I mean, if you're drinking if you're worried about calories, mead ain't the way. Like I would even go further and say maybe alcohol isn't the way. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows how many grams of carbs or
People said, I was just going to say Zima and Bartles and James. I don't know if they're still making those, but
Bartles and James. That sounds like an old pimp drink. Like that's like
yeah. You go and you get a BJ. That's what it is, man. Bartles and James. You don't remember those?
What?
Bartles and James wine coolers.
It sounds like something like an old pimp would
like
drink.
Seagram's had wine coolers. This is when I was a kid. I didn't drink them. I was like even too young to even think. But there was like
Moose Club.
There was Bruce Willis used to do these. There's the Bartles and James guys.
Who you would expect? Yes, that looks like that's exactly who you would expect to drink Bartles and James. Like that is a Moose Club. That
is it. There's Bartles and James right there. Those were the commercials. There were those, and then Seagram's I think had like a young Bruce, a pre Die Hard Bruce Willis doing like Seagram's Golden Wine Cooler songs. He would like sing and play harmonica on them and stuff. I don't think Dave can pull that one up because I think that might be a little too vague. But I vaguely remember these commercials when I was a real little kid and like they were like a thing. These guys, Bartles and James.
Yeah, I did not know who they were.
I haven't thought about them since the 80s, Dave. So whatever, man. It's like, oh, look, is that Bruce Willis or is that's Zima? That's Zima.
That's a Zima guy.
Is that the Zima guy or is that like a Stanley Tucci? What is? I can't tell.
I think Stanley Tucci was the Zima guy.
You're serious? Because Stanley Tucci's having a third round of fame here. Is that it? Could be him. I didn't. Is that who does that look like? I don't know. I'm going Stanley Tucci. So anyway, he found Zima. If he pulls up Seagram's, that's cool. Did you think you're gonna be talking about this shit when you came on the show tonight, Dave?
I didn't even know Bartles. Like, if you brought me, like, I heard like the term Bartles and James, and it took me back to like a whole like back when you could get cigarettes out of a vending machine. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you can't do that anymore. I'm just kidding.
I mean, like, it's wild. Bartles and James, man, that's some Freudian shit right there, man. You say low calorie beverage, and you say Bartles
and James. I don't know. We're talking about we were talking about like something's too sweet and like the Bear Claw. This is the Seagram's commercial. This is it. This is Bruce Willis singing about this Seagram's Golden Wine Cooler. And wait a minute, isn't that was somebody famous? I don't know.
He has hair and shit. That's crazy.
This is like Moonlighting era Bruce Willis.
That's before. That is a much stronger hairline than Die Hard. I feel like
this is like Moonlighting when he was just like a bartender who they put on a TV show with. Wait a minute, did they put like a friggin' like it was a music video? Like a little, like, how the music videos used to have like who made the thing in the corner. They titled a commercial like it was a music video. The 80s, man, different times. Tommy Neba likes wine coolers. I'm sorry, Dave. What else you got this week? I'm sorry, just went down a rabbit hole of hell.
That's it, man.
He did more than one apparently.
What was Bruce Willis doing before Die Hard?
He did Blind Date and the TV show Moonlighting. Yeah, wow. Moonlighting.
He was on TV.
He was a TV guy. You know what I mean? It was like I remember the theme song. I'm not going to sing it, but like, so he did Moonlighting. He did that Blind Date movie, and then he got Die Hard. He was like a bartender who would like sing and dance and do shit in L.A. And somehow they put him on this TV show because he was charming, and now he's getting kicked out of pharmacies in New York for not wearing a mask.
Man, I learn a little bit more about European American pop culture every time I am on this show. I had no idea Bruce Willis was
Anglo.
On TV. Like, what? You did shit before Die Hard? I just thought he got his break when he was 40. Like, I was like,
no, man. I mean, the what was that? Sybil Shepherd and Die Hard, and they would like slam doors. Like that was like their thing. Like they were like partners in a whatever like advertising agency, and they'd yell at each other, and there was like sexual tension, and then they would go into their offices and slam doors. And I think Booger from Revenge of the Nerds was on it, and there was a reference to that in the Moonlighting in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Did you see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
I did, and I did not catch that reference.
Now, when you watch it tonight, because I know you're going to, it's like a regular Friday night thing at your house. You watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you drink some mead wine and a horn, and you roll from there. All right. So, Dace, changing the subject here, our in-show poll here tonight is with the Steelers. They play that song "Renegade," right? When the song when like to like pump up for like going on almost 17 years now, I guess 18 almost 20 years they've been playing it. I think they should stop. But in that song, who do you think the Steelers are? The lawman or the renegade?
Wow.
It's really easy. Just say A or B, and we can move on.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with. They're the. I mean, shit. I would imagine they're the renegade because that's the name of the song.
Right.
Like, is that not the case?
Well, I never looked at it like this. Dave brought it up tonight, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Like, why this song is the fight song. He was saying, like, if you're playing DMX, you know who's gonna lose his mind. Who's, you know what I mean? Who's gonna like, you know who that is, and like
DMX is the team, and y'all are the crowd, and the crowd's making DMX lose his mind. DMX is the team,
right? So,
but like the thing is that the renegade, he's like, I'm done. This is it. I'm toast.
But no,
done.
he said, but he doesn't. He's on the run. He's on the run. He's got to deuce. He's got to stop them from taking him. So that's why the defense needs to do this, Dave. I think that's what it is.
They finally found me.
But he's on the run.
I don't even think he's on the run. He's like this. He's saying goodbye to his girls. Like, it's over. He's like, it's over, basically.
I don't really. I got to be perfectly frank. I don't know the song that well.
Neither of those sound like situations in which you want to be in on the football. Like, wait, are you about to be done? Because if you're the renegade, then you're done. That's what he's thinking about, right? Like, what part of the team? I'm sorry. Wait.
He's like, Hangman's coming down from the gallows. I don't have very long. I'm toast. It's
the
over.
jig is up. The news is out. They finally found me. The renegade who had it made, retrieved for a bounty, never more to go astray. This will be the end today of the wanted man.
Got you. So
he's like, stick a fork.
But he says, I don't want to go. No, no, no. Mama, don't let them take me. Hey, hey. No, no, no. I can't go.
Does he sound like the winner or the loser of this situation?
He definitely sounds like the loser, as if, like, you know, this is the final song that the losing team is playing, and it's like
that has been the case for the last 10 years.
Are coming to get
12 years.
But since like nobody wants to be the fucking law though. Like, who picked that? Who picked this? Like, I don't know. What? Like, why do you? Like, who wants to be the law in that situation? Like, who wants to be the guy that's coming to get the guy that's like, you know, that's been the renegade the whole time? Like, the Steelers sound like a bunch of dicks in that situation. I feel like whoever picked that song should be fired. That's terrible. If that's the case, if you're the guy that's coming for the renegade, like
I was at the Steeler game when they played it the first time. Okay, and I thought it was just the song from Billy Madison. They played that song when Adam Sandler was Billy Madison, and he went back to elementary school and went through kindergarten through 12th grade, and he plays that when he's getting hammered, like he's dancing at the pool with Andy Richter or whoever, and they're just drinking and bond. So that's what I thought it was, and I thought, like, oh, Pittsburgh likes Adam Sandler movies. I didn't put two and two.
I just that used to be the song that they would play at the end of the night or some shit like that at the white clubs, that like they would throw like toilet paper on you and shit, and you'd be like, all right, I guess, like, you know, this is the end of the night. I mean, you know, maybe wrap this up with whomever I'm talking to. You know what I mean? Like, that was the get the fuck out, like, you know, or try to find the after hours spot. Like, so that was.
You don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. They're playing the song. No one wants to hear this shit.
This is like, it was cool. It was
hurt your ears.
I guess now that I hear the lyrics, I'm like, oh, okay, like, you know, this is the final. They're coming for me or whatever. Like, you know, maybe that's like, it was the bouncers were the law, and like I was the guy that was like, oh shit, the bouncers are coming for me, baby. Like, this is my last, you know, hurrah. Like, we gotta go. Like, maybe that was, now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking about it.
All right. You bring up a good question here, and we'll do this, and then I'll let everybody go about their weekends. But what are like the best like closing songs, like that they play at a bar, get the fuck out song? Like, what do you think? Like I mean, what are ones that you heard of? Because usually, like, the ones like that I can think of are just whack and like horrible songs. There's that closing time song that people would play, and it just drove me crazy.
I don't know, man. We had different experiences in the club sometimes because, I mean, something like, DMX, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. You see what I'm saying? That might have just shut the club down because a motherfucker got into a fight. You see what I'm saying?
But
So,
I think, but if
there's
they
different
play
types of closing songs.
But I don't think you can play DMX to close because it'll pump people up and give them the beer muscles to stay. I'm not leaving. I'm finishing my beer.
Well, that typically a fight would break out, and then the bouncers would clear shit out, and then the cops would come in, and it was a thing. Yeah, I mean, it was a wild time back in Jets in Harmerville.
Back in Jets in Harmerville. All right.
I mean.
Blawnox is blowing up. You see, this is what's happening. We're working our way to Harmerville. We were talking about that last night. Tommy Amoeba says the only way that song makes sense is for a bad ref call. Okay, all right, Tommy. All right, I'll buy that. Well, Day, do you have anything else cooking up over the next week? Anything going on? Anything to report?
Nah, not much, man.
Still doing your thing?
Just staying in the motherfucking house and masking up, double masking up if necessary, and trying to get through this goddamn pandemic. But
yeah, man,
we are bubbling with the fest, and we will have some exciting announcements to come very soon. So look forward to that, I guess.
All right, looking forward to it, man. All right, well, cool. Well, I think we should wrap things up. Pete, Dave, let's call this in-show poll. Bunny Cam, is Bunny even there? I don't even think. No, there's nobody there. It's just Pete's drug rug. Is Pete even with us?
I'm here.
There he is. Hey, Pete. Dave, you want to come on?
I'm here.
All right, good. I just want to make sure we're going to say goodbye here. We're going to wrap up week 47 of this show here. Week 44?
You said it was week 144 earlier.
So. No, it's episode 144, week 47. I believe that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I mean, who really gives a shit at this point?
We'll be back next week.
I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight for another week here. Thank you. We'll be back on Wednesday. Aaron Hart's going to be sending us some fantastic Farm to Tables guests and talking about some good stuff, how you can get it. And then Thursday, Kate Romaine's going to be back. Friday, we've got Mark Fleischer from the CLO. We've got Nats doing 5 minutes with, and Dave Bracey's going to be talking about local brews. Oh, you're doing the Pittsburgh polka over there?
Yeah.
The Steelers polka over there instead of that. All right, that could work. We're probably going to get shut down for copyright infringement.
Because my voice is so close to
you sound just like it. You sound just like
Shazam that.
See that? That's what they're gonna do. That's exactly what they're gonna do.
I used to have the vinyl for that.
Really?
Yeah.
You could probably mix that. Actually, you'd be the perfect DJ to have that.
I used to play it at the Pierogi Fest when I would DJ at the Pierogi Fest.
Fantastic. Well, let's hope all festivals are back in full effect this year. And wrapping things up, we're gonna peace out. Should we throw it to Sally or should we let Batman take us home? Dave, I'll leave it up to you.
Wear a mask.
I'm not afraid to be seen standing up to these guys.
The mask's not for you. It's to protect the people you care about.
Put on a mask, everybody. Put on 2 of them. I'm double masking. So keep that going. Keep social distancing. Check in on friends that you may not have talked to for a little while. People are going through some shit right now. So are you, but some people might have it worse. So just check in on them, say hello, and that you care.
Keep on scratching.
And keep on scratching. 6 more weeks of winter if you follow Groundhog. All right, we're out of here. Thank you all. Thank you to Andre Costello. Thank you to Natalie. Day, thanks for being here. Pete, everybody, thank you all so much. We're back Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
Guy off, or you're just going to let him keep rambling?
I'm saying goodnight. Bye, everybody.
Keep on scratching.
Just want to say goodbye to everybody, and we're gonna say goodbye. We're gonna see you later. It's another time. We're gonna be with. Thanks for being here. We're gonna be taking off now. Roll the credits. Roll them. Pete Spindle, ladies and gentlemen. Is that George Michael?
Why don't you talk about your gong bath?
He's trying to make you think he's frozen, but we're not falling for it. He's gonna laugh any minute. He's going to do the Pittsburgh polka. He can't keep still when he's listening to Pittsburgh polka.
I ain't going to take him off the camera either. There we go. Where's the goddamn dog?
Nice.